What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassidy and this is My Planted Paradise. So for today's video, I wanted to bring you guys along because I'd like to repot a lot of plants, which you can't really see right now, but I want to repot them because I've been having a ton of issues with root rot. I don't really know what's going on exactly, and I'd like to try to figure it out. And also, I bought the Great White Mycorrhizae, I think is how you say it. If you watch Unplant Parenthood on YouTube, Charmaine, or if you watch Alice with You Don't Even Grow Here, I think is, or maybe that's just her Instagram. I don't know, but if you watch Charmaine and Alice, you'll see that they've started to use this. I think really Alice was, and now Charmaine is going to try it. But I've noticed that they have really great root systems and it's supposed to promote good root health. So I decided I wanted to give it a try and repot some of my plants in it and see what happens, because I'm having so much trouble. I think part of it is definitely inconsistent watering, but I figured I might as well try something else as well to give everything a little bit of a boost. So that's what we're gonna do today. And again, I apologize, Vixen is eating right there in the hallway, so I know you can hear her and I am so sorry. Okay, so I've got quite a few different plants here. I've got some philodendrons, I've got this Adansonii mint, which actually I think is doing okay. It's got a healthy root right there, but still I want to go ahead and do some mycorrhizae on them, even if they do look okay, just because I want to try it out. Got lots of Hoyas out and ready, and yeah, basically that's a plan for today. I've got a good little variety of plants. I really want to do this to a lot of my plants, but obviously I'm not gonna repot every single one of my plants in one day, so I'm just clearing off a space so maybe I can make this to where you could actually see what's happening. So I'm just clearing an area, and then I think if I set a plant up on this pot, you'll be able to see it hopefully. But yeah, anyways, I want to try the mycorrhizae and see how it goes. It says contains carefully selected mycorrhizal fungus well suited to a variety of soils, climates, and plants. In nature, these fungi build a microbial system in and on plant roots, which enhance plant vigor. So yeah, we're gonna put that to the test. So another thing that I got is I went ahead and purchased some of these square dessert cups because I really like to use them as plant containers, and I want to see the roots while I'm kind of doing my experimenting, so I know how things are going. So I think I'm going to put a lot of things into clear vessels. And then I also got these clear, like these are another like clear dessert cup kind of thing. They're like round, but then they have a flat bottom. And then also these come with lids, so if there's anything that needs higher humidity, they do have lids that go on the top, so that would be kind of cool. But yeah, that's a plan for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some plants out and ready. Let's go ahead and start unpotting some of the plants I want to look at today. I want to start with this Hoya Matilde round form. So I got this and it never really had roots. So I don't know, can you use mycorrhizae before it actually even has roots? That's a good question that I don't know the answer to. Then I've got this Hoya Rangsan. This does have some roots, but still, like I said, I just want to try this out for experiment's sake, kind of. So that guy will be getting some. Got my Hoya Nova Ghost, I think. These are all fairly new. This guy actually has new roots coming out, so or not new roots, new growth coming out, if you can see right there in the middle. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I just want to see what mycorrhizae is all about. I love watching both Charmaine and Alice, and their plants always look really healthy, so I figured I might as well give it a shot. Okay, so I unpotted a few of my plants. Now I need to decide what's going in what. I want to use one of these cute little dessert cups, and then we're going to put Hoyas in them. So first let's do the Nova Ghost because it looks quite good. So I think I should first add some substrate, and then when I see Alice or Charmaine using mycorrhizae, they usually put a little bit down of substrate, and then they'll make sure to get the mycorrhizae on the roots of the plant. So that's what we're gonna do today. I will link their videos or their channels down below so you can go and watch them if you haven't already, but I imagine most people have. And yeah, just sprinkling it on the roots. It smells weird for sure, but it's not necessarily a bad weird. I don't know. I don't think you need a lot, so I might be putting too much, but I'm really just trying to make sure these roots have some on them. I guess it also multiplies, so I guess we'll call that good. Jojo, no. Jojo is obsessed with the plastic packaging and the box that my new containers came in, and I'm not sure why. She is currently about to start kick scratching them. She's so weird. Now I've already got some water. It doesn't have any fertilizer or anything in it. I think I'm just gonna do some water for now and start with that. I don't know how long it takes for this to start working or to notice a difference, but there's the first one, my Hoya Nova Ghost. She's done. Okay, next let's do this Hoya Rain Sand. Jojo, stop. She's getting them all out. I got these in a pack of 100, both the square vessels and the like round ones for like 20 bucks each for 100 of them, which is a really great deal. I think I can just continue to reuse them and they're gonna last a long time. Next, let's do the Hoya Ring Sand. I'm not doing new substrate just because on these ones there wasn't anything wrong with this substrate, but there's a couple of other ones where if the roots look bad or something, then I'll probably be giving them fresh substrate. Try to give them the best chance, but these Hoyas did have fairly new substrate because I just got them all potted up recently, and none of them have like root rot or anything, root mealies. So I'm sprinkling the mycorrhizae on, and yeah, I'm really hopeful I'll see maybe a difference in my root health and my plant health. I'm always down to try new things and experiment. I feel like that's kind of part of what's really fun about the hobby, is doing the experimenting to see what works, what doesn't work, what makes improvements, what kind of doesn't. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I don't need that moss in there. Okay, we're gonna add some water. And I also read on this, you can put it directly onto the roots or the substrate, or you can mix it into the water. I figured I'd just sprinkle some directly onto the roots, just because that's how I've seen it used before. Oh my gosh, she's going for the other container of vessels now. Hold on a second. So another thing I need to do is research more. I don't know if you're allowed or supposed to use like, what's it called? Like systemics or certain fertilizers. I don't know if there's any like benefits or anything that might negate the use of the mycorrhizae, so I need to do more research on it, but that's why today I'm just going to be adding regular water and going from there. Let's do the Waymanier. I'm going to put it back into a small cup because it still just doesn't have any roots. Let's do this little tiny guy right here. And then I'm just going to sprinkle the mycorrhizae in the bottom. There's not much to sprinkle it onto as far as the way Manier goes, but there. The next plant is these Hoya Matilde splashes, and I think I might try one of these like yogurt cups, but I don't have a lot of substrate left. Go, Sky. So I might have to use my crazy jumbled mix of DIY fun, but it's okay. Okay, go, Sky. Go. She loves to be in the center of everything. But I know she's going to make a mess if she's hanging around because I have too many plants on the floor around me. I really don't know if I'm doing too much, too little. I have no idea. It said like 1 teaspoon per, hold on, let me see. 1 teaspoon per 10 gallons of water. And then if I was using like a 4-inch pot, the amount of solution I would do would be 3 ounces. So I don't think it needs a lot. I think I might be going a bit overkill with how much I'm sprinkling on here. So maybe I'll try to do a little bit less. Okay, here is, got some water on me, the Hoya Matilde splash. All potted back up. So hopefully these guys start kind of taking off and doing really well. That would be really awesome. Okay, now let's switch to something other than Hoyas for a second maybe. So let's do a couple of these philodendrons. This is my just a regular Philodendron Florida. It's looking pretty awful right now, but that's because it keeps getting spider mites, and I mean like repeatedly over and over and over again. It's getting spider mites and I'm going insane. See, these roots don't look, they're definitely not rotted or anything, but, and there are a couple of healthy new ones like right here and right here, but they're just not doing as well as my plants used to do. Like, I've just lost it with my plants lately. Jojo, will you stop please? So we're gonna use another one of these cups. And where'd that other cup go that I was just using? Look, there. Okay, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit in the bottom again, and then we're gonna pop her in here. Yeah, that'll be a perfect size. And then I really want to get the myco on these roots. I'm hoping this works. If it doesn't work, I will be kind of sad because I'm pretty hopeful. But anyways, today I did meet, I think I had mentioned I was wanting to go back to school. So I did apply and I'm going to be getting enrolled. I'll probably finish doing it this evening. I met with my academic advisor this morning. It is too late to start for this August session, so basically the first 8 weeks, because I didn't get my application all the way finished until recently, and now they need more information regarding like my transfer credits from my last university. So I won't get to start yet, but I should be good to start for the late 8-week fall semester. So I would start in October. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'd like to be back in school and just actually get my degree once and for all. It's just something I've always wanted to do and just had to put on the back burner for a long time because I just mentally haven't been able to, but now I feel like I'd be able. So that's a little quick life update. I'm only going to put a little bit of water in here because this was already fairly wet to begin with, so I just have a little bit in there. But there's the Philodendron Florida green. She's all messed up from having spider mites, but it is what it is. Now I've got some baby Philodendron gloriouses. I don't know if they even have any roots at this point. They've not been rooting for me. Oh, this one does. It has a couple baby roots. See, I had some of these little containers already before, but I had gotten them at the dollar store and I haven't seen them since I bought them that first time. So that's why I just ordered them off Amazon, and I'm gonna give it a fresh one. So anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. How is everybody else doing right now? I feel like the world has just been so weird the past couple years. I don't know if we're back to a normal kind of headspace finally, and I don't know. I'm getting there, I hope, I think. But I don't know how everybody else is. So tell me, how are you? How are things going? I hope they're going well. Again, this one's already kind of wet, so I'm just adding a little bit of water in there. And there is the Philodendron glorious. Well, one of them. It's a little node. It has a new leaf on the way, which is a good sign. I do have a question. I'm curious how everybody else feels about like reels and TikToks. Do you love them or do you hate them? I feel like some people, most people actually love them, but I personally, I just don't enjoy them. I find them annoying, really annoying. I hate hearing the same thing on repeat. It drives me insane when my fiance is listening to TikToks, because he'll watch the same one over and over, or the same like audio, I guess, is used over and over in different people's like reels and TikToks. I never even downloaded the TikTok app because I never was interested in, I just don't really like super short form content like a TikTok or reel. I never liked Vine when Vine was popular. I don't know. Short form content is kind of annoying to me, especially when it's like playing on repeat, and it kind of feels like anything I see, because you know how Instagram now does the reels. I feel like if I do see them, which I do because Instagram pushes them so hard, I'm seeing basically the same video by somebody else over and over and over. Or the whole craze like with the dances, which I think that was more of a, everybody was going out of their minds bored during the heat of the pandemic and locked in their houses. So it was kind of fun to see people all getting up and dancing together like with their families. But now it's just like, I just see the same thing over and over and over again, and it's just boring to me. I just don't enjoy it. So what are your thoughts on reels and TikToks? Do you like them? Are you annoyed by them? Because I think I'm just annoyed by them at this point, honestly. This next guy is kind of exciting. This is a node cutting of my large variegated Philodendron Padam. Padam. And look at the first leaf. It is so variegated. After I get this potted up, I'll show you guys a closer look. Now I'd like to, I think I'm going to put it in one of the round vessels, but I'm not going to fill it all the way. And I'm only doing this, even though this vessel is bigger and it's in a tiny cup right now, because I want it to continue to get that humidity for a bit longer while it gets more established and gets better roots. Because I've done it before where I get a node propagation or just any propagation in general to start growing, and they're in a high humidity situation, and then I think they're ready because they have their first leaf and a little bit of roots. I take them out and then they just basically die immediately. And it's super frustrating. So I don't want to do that this time. So we're gonna attempt to avoid that. by keeping it in this, and then I'll put one of these. Well, that one has a dent in it. These all have a dent in it. What the heck? Why are they all dented? Well, that's annoying. They all have little dents in them. Anyways, and then I'll put this lid over it to keep the humidity in. That's the plan. Anyways, see what kind of roots we've got. So not much, but it is starting to root off of that initial aerial root. If you can see, if it will focus for you, you can see where all that perlite is. It's starting to root off this brown aerial root. So that looks good and healthy so far. So like I said, I don't plan on filling this to the top because I want the lid to be able to go on it but not be touching the leaf. Hopefully that is possible. Maybe. It's gonna be close, I think, but I think it's doable. Sprinkling the myco on, and now I will backfill. Okay, I need a bit more substrate still. Okay, let's hope that this lid can go on without totally covering up this leaf. Otherwise, I just put this in a too large of a container for nothing. That would be less than ideal. I'm really annoyed about these dents it's got. Oh yeah, it's gonna work perfect. Okay. So let me get a little bit closer so you can see this. So here is the little variegated Philodendron Padam node. And if you can see, it's got really amazing variegation. So I'm so glad I kept this node and I grew it out. But yeah, that's gonna be its little home for a little while in this little dessert yogurt cup with a lid. But look, I think it looks kind of cute. I wish I could make it to where the ring light wasn't reflecting so bad so you could see that better, but I think that's the best we're gonna get. Oh, it looks so good. Okay, the next guy I want to do is this super splashy Hoya Matilde. It's been looking really good lately, honestly, but I know not all of these pieces are that rooted. Yeah, not at all. So let's see here. This one has some healthy roots. I guess they all have a little bit of healthy roots going on. There's 3 pieces in here. It's just not very much. So these guys will also be able to go in one of these dessert cups. They're really hard to go get apart. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh my gosh, there's a little baby one. Don't know if that will survive. I think I'll put that in its own vessel by itself. Okay, there's the Hoya Matilde splash, all repotted with the myco. Let's see what else. I want to do my Hoya AH074, which I actually might chop again because after I chopped it last time, the new growth is coming out really green. It doesn't have a ton of silver on it, which I'm not crazy about. I don't really know if I should chop it again or not. It's got another activated growth point down here, so I could chop it right above that node and then maybe that would continue to push out. I don't know. Can't decide what I want to do. Let's see. These roots look okay. Yep, they look pretty good. So just another quick repot. These are not easy to get apart. Also, I just realized my Thai constellation leaf has been stabbing me in the face this whole time. It's a bit rude. Can't get those apart. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead. Pop this guy up. Hoya AH074. Just putting a little bit of substrate in the bottom because it already has quite a large root system. So myco, then I'm going to put that down and put myco around on these roots. It says it's good for several different plant types, and again, I haven't done enough research to know exactly what benefits most or if there is a difference between some and others. Hold on, my phone is ringing. Anyways, I don't know if there is a difference in how well it works for some and not for others. I don't really know, but I guess we'll find out. I'll definitely report back to you guys and tell you guys if I see any difference or not. So I'm probably not going to fertilize. Well, obviously I'm not fertilizing with this watering that I'm giving these plants, but then with my next watering, I'll go back to fertilizing as normal, and I won't change anything else besides the fact that I've given them the myco so that we can know and make sure it's the myco that's causing the changes and not something else. That if I change something, you know, you don't want to make too many factors. So anyways, Hoya AH074. Go ahead and add a little bit of water to that. It was already pretty wet, so I don't really want to add too much. So there's my Hoya AH074. She might need to be chopped because she's trying to go all green on me. I'm really just not a fan. Okay, now I want to do another philodendron, and this one's in soil. This is my Philodendron Rio, and she's been struggling lately for an unknown reason, and I think I will keep her in soil but put her in a clear vessel so I can monitor the roots some more. Okay, I zoomed you guys in so hopefully you can see a little bit better, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing on all of these a little bit more in depth. This is my Philodendron Rio, and she's been looking quite pathetic. She's been dropping leaves, and honestly I just think her roots aren't that happy, so I want to inoculate this one, see if it helps her at all. She does have some like decent roots, but none of these are super impressive to me at the moment. So she's got like this one long healthy root, if you can see that. So we're gonna try the myco on this plant, but she will be in soil. So now we can try another medium, see if there's a difference between soil and the pond at all. And the soil I use is super chunky, so I don't know if that matters at all. Adding myco to the bottom, and then we're gonna first get this guy with this crazy long winding root in there. Okay, and I'm gonna sprinkle some on top of those roots, and then I'm gonna fill this a little bit before I add that other piece because it doesn't have much roots at all. And I'll add a little bit more myco to the top so this piece gets some. Okay, now that's a little more. Okay, here is the Philodendron Rio, and she's in my super chunky soil mixture. So I'm putting quite a decent amount of water in there, only because it kind of takes a minute for the substrate to soak it up, because it's so chunky. So I'll monitor this, and if it looks like there's still way too much that's just sitting in the pot, then I will end up draining it. But here's her for now. Okay, this next guy, I'm quite terrified to be doing this, but I'm not good at growing things in moss, and that is my new little baby Philodendron El Chaco Red. She's looking good. No like damage or anything. She's looking healthy, and she's got a new growth point right there in the middle coming out, but she's completely rooted in this moss. So I'd like to get her out and get this moved into soil, and I'm absolutely terrified because I'm afraid she's just going to die. But that's a risk I've got to take. So first we've got to get her out of this moss, and then we'll get it transferred. Ooh, I'm hoping, I think myco can help with transplant shock, if I'm not mistaken, or I'm just making that up and I don't know what I'm saying. I'm telling you guys, I really need to do more research, but if you want more information about myco, I would watch, I think it's Alice. She has a full video on it. And she talks about it a lot on her channel. So I would definitely go over to her channel and watch those videos if you're more interested, because this is my first time ever trying it and I don't know a ton about it. I just kind of need something to help with the root health of my plants because they've been going through it lately, like all of my plants, a wide variety of plants. So okay, so this El Chaco is so rooted. I don't know if you can see, sorry if that was loud, don't know if you can see very well, but this has so many roots. This is insane. I didn't realize it was this rooted. There's a whole bunch that are like spiraled in here, just spun up in a little circle. Oh boy, and I might just ruin them all by moving this to soil. Oh gosh, I hope that doesn't happen. I'm not gonna water this super heavily. I can tell you that right now for the first part of the transition into soil, because I really don't want it to just end up completely rotting on me, because then I might cry. Because I'm really excited to have this plant in my collection again. My last one was ravaged by spider mites, and I tried and tried and tried to combat them, and they kept coming back on it. And I think I ended up cutting it back completely to a stump because I couldn't get rid of the spider mites, but I don't think I was ever able to grow it back after that. So yeah, I'm really hoping we have a better experience with this El Chaco. So my camera battery died while I was filming that, so I don't really know where it cut me off at, but here are what the El Chaco Red? Yeah, El Chaco Red roots are looking like right now. They look pretty healthy. So yeah, basically I'm terrified that I'm about to kill them completely, but we're just going to hope and pray that that does not happen. It looks crazy. Okay, let's get out another little dessert cup. Everything's going in little dessert cups today because I want to be able to visibly see and kind of track what the roots are looking like. So that's what's happening today. Got the Great White right here. Now, first I'm just gonna put a little bit of substrate in the bottom. Okay, and then we're gonna sprinkle a little myco down in there. Here's what it looks like, by the way. I wasn't really expecting it to be so powdery, but it is. Now we're gonna pop this in here. It's not a huge up pot for it, but I'm hesitant to put it in too big of a vessel and then that will cause it to rot. So I'm not gonna go any larger than this. But maybe if these roots do good and she doesn't just completely croak, then we can get her into something a little bit bigger afterwards. So sprinkled the myco on. I'm just going to backfill this with my soil mix. It's pretty chunky. This one is a little less chunky than the one I just put the Philodendron Rio into, but it's still a really pretty chunky mix. So there she is, all potted up. I'm gonna add just a little bit of water. I really don't want to add too much because I'm completely afraid that I'm going to get this root rot, but hopefully not. Yeah, you can see there's already some water that's starting to pool at the bottom there. But there she is, the El Chaco Red repotted. She's got that beautiful new caterpillar right there in the center. So hopefully I didn't just completely make it mad and that new growth doesn't come out all messed up. But there is that guy, Philodendron El Chaco Red, and it's in soil so we can see what different substrates are going to do with the myco. Last but not least, I thought we could give it a whirl on a more semi-hydro type mixture, and that is going to be this Monstera Adansonii mint form that I have rooting in leca. So there are what her roots look like at the moment. They're still looking good and healthy, but obviously she's not super rooted yet. I think this might be better if I mixed it into the water, but I'm still not 100% sure. So what I might do is put a little directly onto the roots, and then I might also just seriously do like the smallest sprinkle into this water just to see what happens, I guess. So I'm adding some to the leca. I hope you can see what I'm doing. That El Chaco leaf is kind of in the way of the myco, but you get the idea. And then I want to add some directly to these roots. And that, I think that will be good. Where did I just, oh, perfect. Now back to the leca. Back in her little leca pot, and I'm going to just put her back in this cup, and I think I'll add a little bit more water because the water line has gotten below the actual vessel, so I'll add some more water into it. But yeah, I think that is done. Let's just top it off a little bit with some water. And I bet I'm just basically rinsing all that myco off, but I put some in the water as well, so I don't know. This is all new to me. So here's the Monstera Adansonii mint, and you can see the water isn't so clear anymore. So hopefully it works. Okie dokie, I have one last plant I want to look over, and that is my Monstera Escaletto. Ooh, I feel like I'm crushing a plant underneath me. Okay, so this is my Monstera Escaletto. She has not put out a new leaf. This is the leaf I got her with, and then she started to push out this new growth point, and it looks like it's just a runner so far. So I want to check in on her roots. They don't look awful, but they don't look great. They're just pretty dry, which is crazy because this has been in my cabinet this whole time. But it's been in terracotta, so maybe it's not so crazy. So once again, we're gonna use another one of the round vessels that I got. I'm putting these to use today, and then I feel like I'll be able to reuse them really easily. So let me do this again, so hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. So we're gonna go ahead and get a little bit, I bet you can hear Layden. He's playing on his computer right now, and I left the door open. I hope it's not too distracting. But anyways, we're gonna do soil one more time. So now we've got several in pond, we've got a few soil, and we've got one leca that we can experiment and see how the myco does with each of those substrates. So I'm just popping it in here. It does have some new roots growing in that do look healthy that I'm seeing, so maybe this isn't a complete horrible situation we're getting into. with having to like reroot this completely, but it definitely isn't super rooted, so hopefully this helps with that. I need a better cut because that one's just collapsing when I try to get my soil. Yeah, the mycorrhizae, it smells extremely strong. And it's really, it's not like an unpleasant smell, but it's very, very earthy. So, I don't know. Not everyone might enjoy the smell. I don't think it's necessarily bad, it's just different. I hear a lady. I really hope that's not too loud and distracting. This video is kind of a hot mess, but I just wanted to take you guys along with the beginning of the process of me trying out the Myco, just because I'm really curious to see what it does, and we'll definitely do an update, maybe like in a month or so. I say let's do an update and see what I end up thinking about this Great White Mycorrhizae. See if I have anything to report by then. I don't know if that's an appropriate time frame, but that's a time frame I'm gonna give to start testing it. Okay, so there's some Monstera Escaletto potted up, and I'm just gonna water it in. Again, I'm not gonna put too much water. This one is more so because it was really dry. So I really would rather this didn't just completely rot away. So there's the last plant, the Monstera Escaletto, potted up into soil again with the Myco. Okay, so that is going to be it from me today. I know it wasn't super exciting or riveting content, but I just want to take you guys along with me as I try out the Myco, and we'll go along together seeing how I like it, seeing if I see an improvement in the roots of my plants or the growth of my plants, and just seeing how everything goes. So we've got, let me see how many we did. We did one, hold on. We've got the Monstera Escaletto. We've got 2 of the little node grown Philodendron glorious. Those are in pon. And then I do have 2 more of the Philodendron glorious babies, and they are not in with Myco, so I might just leave them that way, and then we can compare them to the ones that I did put Myco into today and see if there's a difference. That would be a good experiment, I think. But anyways, then we've got the Philodendron Rio, and she's in soil as well. We've got the Hoya AH074, it's in pon. We've got the Hoya Matilde with a lot of splashing on it, again in pon. We've got the Hoya Crassipetiolata Splash. Then we've got the Philodendron Florida Green in pon. Then we've got the Philodendron El Chaco Red in pon, or no, in soil. Then we've got the variegated Philodendron Padam grown from a node in pon. And last but not least, we've got the variegated Monstera Adansonii mint, and this one is in Leca. So yeah, I will just report back to you guys in about a month, and we'll see how these plants are doing, see if I notice any changes, and we'll go from there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos from me. And yeah, I guess that's it. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.